Silent terror, crime of the rich. In 2003, Seoul, the capital of South Korea, was shaken by a series of gruesome crimes. It was clear that the homes of the wealthy were being targeted. The police began to suspect they were dealing with a serial killer. September 24, 2003, Gangnam District, an elderly couple was found murdered. Both had been brutally beaten to death with blows to the head. Their skulls were crushed. The strange thing? A box full of money and jewelry, untouched. The police ruled out robbery. This was a hate crime. October 9, 2003, just 2 weeks later, another crime, just as brutal. This time, the victims were the grandmother, wife, and son of a businessman named Young Won-koo. The crime scene was horrific. The grandmother was in the bathroom doorway, the wife near the aquarium, and the son on the stairs. Blood was dripping from the second floor. There were no signs of a struggle. How could the killer have overpowered 3 people? The murder weapon was a mystery, something that caused a deep skull fracture. The only clue the police found was a shoe print that didn't match the homeowner's shoes. It was the killer's. The investigators noticed something strange. Police officers from the Gangnam District arrived at the crime scene. They realized that their first crime and the Goji-dong crime were connected. Behavioral analyst Young Koo was brought in. His analysis was chilling. The killer harbored a deep-seated hatred for the wealthy. He saw them as having plundered society. He predicted this killer would become a serial killer. October 16th. The third crime. An elderly woman. November 18th. The fourth crime. A house set on fire to cover up the crime. An 87-year-old man and a domestic worker in both crimes. The same violent blows to the head and the same shoe print. Their worst fears had been confirmed. Finally, a thin lead. A surveillance camera captured a man leaving the scene of the fourth crime. The man was wearing a coat. The family confirmed it was the victim's coat. The police released the footage and offered a substantial reward. Unexpectedly, the murders of the wealthy suddenly stopped. The horror changes its face, street crime. With the arrival of 2004, a completely new type of crime began. The victims this time were women walking alone at night. No home invasions, just sudden attacks in the street. The weapon? A knife, a high school student, a college student, a wife returning home. All were brutally stabbed to death. It was a clear pattern, a new kind of serial killer. The police were driven mad. Could there really be 2 serial killers in Seoul at the same time? There seemed to be no logical connection between the brutal hammer murders of the wealthy and the random knife attacks in the street. The forgotten victims, prostitutes. At the same time, a third type of crime was emerging, operating under the radar. In Seoul's red light districts, the prostitutes began to disappear. Usually no one cared. The corrupt police turned a blind eye to these areas, but the disappearances increased. A girl every 2 weeks, then a girl every week. One of the directors, a former police officer, sensed something was amiss. July 15th, 2004. The director received a call. The number belonged to one of the girls who had disappeared months earlier. The director answered, but the voice on the other end was a man, asking for a new girl. The fall, the arrest of Yu Young Chul. The director, the former police officer, contacted his old colleague, Detective Yang. They had set a trap. They sent a girl as bait, but the man rejected her from a distance, claiming she was too tall. We pause for a moment. This detail will be terrifying later. The man asked for a shorter girl with the second girl. The detectives pounced on him. He resisted violently. It took 5 officers to subdue him. His name, Yu Young-chul. He was 34 years old. Confession inside the monster's mind. In the interrogation room, Yu Young-chul remained calm, but when the detective slapped him, he exploded in a furious tone. "You bastards, you think you can get the better of me? I am the wrath of the gods. I brought down the punishment on the prostitutes, and I brought down the punishment on the rich who corrupted society. I am the punishment sent from heaven." He confessed to everything. He confessed to killing the rich, and he confessed to killing prostitutes. This was his mysterious weapon, a smashing hammer. He had cut off the handle to make it easier to hide. He would lure prostitutes to his apartment. He would kill them with the hammer. And then the most horrifying part would begin. The dismemberment. He paused for a second. He had studied human anatomy to perfect his dismemberment. That's why he rejected the tall girls. Smaller bodies were easier to cut up. He would put the remains in garbage bags and take a taxi. When the driver asked him about